We're here today to announce the completion of the Unincorporated Cook County Task Force's initial review and release of their recommendations. When I convened the group last December, I asked them to fully investigate the provision of services to unincorporated areas within the county and the associated costs of those services. I'm grateful to the task force for its hard work, tackling a complicated and controversial issue. They devoted significant amounts of time to this effort on an entirely volunteer basis, as several of them reminded me. During the course of the last 5 months, members of the task force have had conversations with many parts of Cook County government, including the Sheriff's Office, the County Highway Department, the Department of Building and Zoning. They also took the initiative to go out and meet with officials from the municipalities where there are large unincorporated areas nearby. I want to thank all of those office holders and officials for helping to inform and influence the task force's report. Currently, Cook County spends a significant amount of resources on the provision of municipal-type services to unincorporated areas and residents. These services, which include building and zoning permits and inspections and provision of police patrol services, represent the types of services for which 98% of the residents of Cook County who live in municipalities receive from their own municipal government. The county receives some general revenues from the unincorporated areas, along with fees from individual unincorporated property owners, such as building permit fees. These revenues, however, do not fully cover the cost of providing these municipal-type services. The financial gap that remains between the provision of services in these unincorporated areas and the revenues is covered by general county revenues, which are paid by both incorporated and unincorporated residents alike. Therefore, to whatever extent the county continues to provide these municipal-type services in the future, it diverts resources that could be allocated to the county's primary functions, health care and criminal justice. 3/4 of our budget is health care and criminal justice. I want to applaud the task force for taking the long view and recommending an ultimate goal of elimination of unincorporated land within Cook County. Let me say that again. Our long-term goal has to be the elimination of unincorporated land within Cook County. Accomplishing this goal over time will result in financial savings for the county, and the need for such services hopefully will be reduced. Furthermore, moving towards an environment where all residents of Cook County also reside in a municipality will ensure that there's local control over local decisions. Local control over local decisions, which is desirable from a public policy perspective. I want to be clear, there are many challenges to the short-term attainment of this goal. In fact, this could be something that we're working on for many years. Broadly speaking, the task force found 2 key items of significance. First, public safety costs make up the vast majority of the expenses incurred by the continued provision of municipal-type services by the county to unincorporated Cook. The other is that the state of the built infrastructure in unincorporated Cook County in many cases does not meet the standards of nearby communities. So we're talking about the provision of water and sewer, roads, sidewalks, so on. These strategies outlined in the report, the strategies outlined in the report take these 2 findings into account and seek to overcome existing obstacles to move closer to the desired outcome. We know that the county can't accomplish this on its own. The strategies that are outlined in this report, which are broken down into immediate, near-term, and long-term suggestions, will require the cooperation and input from interested municipalities and residents alike. We can no longer afford to sit back and wait for these issues to resolve themselves. Actually, Professor Bowman, who worked in the Phelan administration, was saying as we talked earlier that he was grateful that this group had been charged with tackling this issue because it has been an issue that's been ignored for a very long time. And it's been ignored, of course, because it's complicated and difficult. But we can't afford to sit back and wait for these issues, as I said, to resolve themselves. It's clear that in order to reduce our staggering budget deficit and maintain value for taxpayers, we need to move forward toward the goals outlined in this report and eliminate the unincorporated areas of Cook County. I want to thank the task force both for their hard work and their willingness to serve an additional 6 months to further investigate these issues and help create and implementation agenda for the sustained strategies that are in the report. I look forward to continuing to work with them and with all the stakeholders on this initiative. I am grateful to all of the members of the task force, and particularly to its chair. As I said to them as we met earlier, this is a job which is working on tough issues like this is thankless and difficult. And if you're a public servant, that's the kind of thing you expect. But these folks are good citizens from across the county who've been willing to take on the challenge as well. So let me turn the microphone over to our chair, King Harris.
On behalf of the whole task force, I too would like to thank President Preckwinkle for the opportunity to really examine what is a complicated public issue. Over the last 5 months, we've had many meetings, we've done field work, etc. I think the positive, constructive thing was that after lengthy deliberations, we were able to reach an agreement on what you're going to read today in terms of our initial report. We had some very good input from both the sheriff, the highway department, the Department of Building and Zoning, the Forest Reserve, thoughtful input. But I think the thing, if you want to take one thing away from all this, all of us agreed that eliminating unincorporated land in Cook County has to be our long-term goal here. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take time. We've talked about costs, but really we focus as much on service. We really think that by eliminating unincorporated Cook County, we can improve the service to all our residents. Only 2% of the people who live in Cook County are in unincorporated Cook. It's about 98,000 people. And interestingly enough, of that 98,000, 86,000 of them live in 25 separate larger tracts. So I think that's really important when you think about the issues we're dealing with. We look forward to our opportunities in the next few months to address these issues. I'm confident that we're going to have some very thoughtful discussion, and I really hope that municipalities and governing bodies across the county help us with this. It's just something we have to do. So again, thank you, President Preckwinkle, for the opportunity.